Brenda's with us in Las Vegas. Hey, Brenda, welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave.
Hey, what's up?
Well, my husband and I we started saving for our children's college education. And with our oldest starting college in just a little over 2 years, I just feel like we are way behind. And I would love some advice on what I need to do, what we need to do to properly save for our children's college education.
What's your household income?
Well, my husband's a pastor, so our actual take-home pay is kind of a little bit different. But monthly, we bring home around $5,000 a month.
Okay, and you have you have kids at what ages?
2 kids, 16 and 14.
Okay, and how much do you have saved now?
In the education savings, we have about $5,800. In our general savings, I have a little over $5,000.
Okay, all right.
And then we have kind of a vacation fund savings, which right now is about $300.
Okay, all right. Well, basically, what we're saying is that in 2 years, you're going to have probably not even half of what you need. Probably not even a fourth of what you need. Mm-hmm. And so there's a couple things you need to do if a kid wants to go to school debt-free and doesn't have any money or has limited money. And we're kind of between no money and limited money in this discussion. So the first thing is that you need to really get a realistic grip on the number one cause of student loan debt is college choice. People choose a freaking college that broke people don't need to go to. Okay?
Yes, and my children have a college in mind already, so
I know
care. It's a private college. Yeah.
I don't care. They don't get to make the decision.
Right.
They're teenagers. They need help. And they need these things called parents. Because, if you participate in the decision for them to go to a $45,000 a year school, you are pretty much ensuring your child is going to hate you when they're 30. Because they're going to be looking down the nose of about $100,000 in student loan debt.
Right, and we want to avoid that.
Yeah, so where you go to school matters. And so basically, these kids are going to in-state, state schools, and or community colleges for the first 2 years to get their basics out of the way for little to no money at the community college and then finish up at an in-state, state school. Here's the interesting thing. There's almost no jobs and almost no degree fields that care where you went to school. I have never gone to a doctor and went, oh, I can't let you look at me because you went to the wrong school. I have never hired an attorney that I said, oh, we can't get you to work on us because you didn't go to George Washington. I have never one time have I hired somebody in this organization based on where they went to school or didn't go to school. So that garbage is out there floating around, but in the real world, it doesn't exist. Okay? Nobody asks, nobody has ever denied your husband a position as a pastor based on where he went to seminary, unless it was a doctrinal issue indicated by where he went to seminary, but not based on the quality of education. Okay?
No.
And so, that's just not the case. So this garbage of you have to go to some big name school, or those of us that are Christians, sometimes my fellow Christians want to send their kid only to a Christian college because it's like they're going to go to hell if they don't. And maybe they could be salt and light in the community college. Maybe they could be salt and light in the public college because these kids ain't got the money for Christian school. They can't afford it. You can't afford it. You can't afford it unless they get 100% free ride. So number one is college choice. Number two is they are going to be working while they're in school and before they get to school. Did you go to college?
I did.
Did you work while you were in college?
I did.
Yeah, me too.
And I came out of college 100% debt-free, though. Yeah. I had no student loans.
Me too. Well, no, I had $3,000. I take that back in student loans, but that was before I was Dave Ramsey. So I had hair then. So anyway, so they're going to be working. Number two. Number three, their job right now, starting now, is to start taking the ACT and take it again and take it again. Most schools are now super scoring the ACT, which means they take the best of If you take it 3 times, they take the best science score you got of the 3. They take the best math score of the 3. They take the best English score of the 3, and they put them together, and that's called a super score, and that becomes your ACT score. And then every time you take it, you take mentoring and tutoring in between. That's a good thing to spend money on how to take the test so that next time you take it, your score goes up. All 3 of my kids took the test more than twice. Okay.
Right. I did too. I took it more than. Yeah. I took it twice. Yeah.
Yeah. And every time their scores went up, by the way, because we did just exactly what we're talking about. And then that leads us into number 4, which is scholarships. They are now in the I want a scholarship business, and it can be based on their Christian faith and their mission work that they've done and the citizenship that represents into the citizens of the world or citizens of the culture or whatever. It can be based on academics. It can be based on, but it's usually just based on somebody's giving away a scholarship and the kid that has the best essay that turns it in gets it. And there's millions and millions and millions of dollars that go unclaimed every year on scholarships. And so you go to something like myscholarly.com or some of these other services that are online, and your child needs to fill out 1,000 scholarship applications between now and the time they go to school. Literally.
Okay.
Literally. Not 100, because they're going to get turned down for 900 of them. Or maybe 950 of them. But if they get 50 scholarships that average $1,000 a piece, they just went to school. Great part-time job for a teenager. So scholarships, work, ACT, and overall college choice. You do all of those things, you can get through school now. Because if you start looking at an in-state tuition versus a private education that you can't afford, you're going to see it's 5x. Private education is going to be 5x. And what happens, though, is that people let their teenagers make these decisions in a vacuum based on the town is pretty, and so I want to go to school there. Or based on, I've always thought I wanted to be a PhD in German polka history. I want to study something that has absolutely no applicable use in the marketplace. And so your job as mom, your job as dad, is to parent these kids. And they are kids. I know they look like they're grown up and all that kind of stuff, but they're not. Because every one of us that have been 18 years old are shaking our heads going, we were stupid. And we needed parents. That's how people get $150,000 in debt, because their parents aren't involved. And they make stupid decisions about education. Isn't that oxymoronic? That we make stupid decisions about education? Think about how dumb that whole phrase I just said is. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.